I'm not gonna lie, this was very interesting. This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store, The Officer Tatum Store, and also Beating Black and Blue, Being a Black Cop in America Under Siege. My book, you can get it on Amazon, and soon, because we finally got our warehouse in Scottsdale, soon we will be having signed copies available again on The Officer Tatum Store. So stay tuned. If you go in there, you find the book, click it, put notify me when made available, and we'll let you know as soon as we drop. Launch the warehouse, which is I think on the 8th. I'm gonna try to get it done. Everybody hired, everybody working on the 8th. So like and subscribe to the channel, download the podcast, the B Tatum Show podcast on all podcast platforms. Those links are in the description section. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I don't know if you're familiar with Jubilee. Jubilee does a lot of middle ground. I guess the show is called Middle Ground, but does a lot of middle ground conversations. Like you can see this one that I'm on. Your boy right there, your boy with the fade. Trans men versus conservative men. Now, going into this situation, I felt like I was not going to, I had a plan that I wasn't going to be mean. I was going to be godly no matter what situation I was going to be in. I had a plan that if they got combative, I would have to lay the hammer down. That's pretty much what it is. I'm not going to compromise my faith, and I'm not going to let anybody just bash conservative men just because they feel like it. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to play a little bit of it. I'm going to try to attach the full video in the description section. But I will say that out of all of the trans men here, and these are women who identify and live their life as men, and at least two of them, you cannot tell that that's a woman. It's no way, form, or fashion. You'll see when the clip pop up, you can't tell that these girls are men. It's no way of telling. But it was at least one Buck, the guy named Buck here. I call him a guy. These women look like guys. Buck here was absolutely amazing. And I actually, he opened my eyes. He opened my eyes to what trans people go through to a certain degree. I still don't agree with it. I think it's, God can heal you. It is a gender dysphoria type situation. However, I do understand where they're coming from. Because in America, do whatever you want. As long as you ain't messing with my life, I don't care what you do. But Buck really helped me understand a little bit about where they come from. And Buck was the most honest, in my opinion, about trans stuff. And, Buck admitted that, she's a woman. She just want to live her life as a man. There's only two genders. All of the things that I would suggest, or I would believe would make a common ground possible. Buck was the one that said it. So without me running my mouth too much, I'm going to play the video so you guys can see just a little bit of it. Roll the film.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Masculinity is disappearing in America.
I think that masculinity is disappearing. I think that it's a concerted effort to emasculate men. I think that some people feel threatened by masculinity and the typical way that men carry themselves, leading families and different things like that. So I think that there's an effort to mitigate strong men in America.
A lot of times when you guys spoke about masculinity, you associate it with men being manly, but I think more women are embracing their masculinity. Masculinity is still there. Just other genders are using it. Being courageous, being powerful, more women are standing in their power, which is again associated with masculine, but it's not specific to just men. Women are no longer submissive, they're dominant. Women don't need men, and I think that most of America.
See, that's where she lost me at. Women don't need men, and you do. That doesn't mean you're a slave, but that means that we work together. Women do need men, and men do need women. It's a fact. Roll the film.
America is realizing that anyone can be powerful on their own.
I believe that the masculine traits are inherently in men, and men have to take a position. You made a really good point by saying women are now becoming more masculine. They feel as if they don't need men, which I think is the problem here. I think that the way we've been designed by God, in my opinion, is that men are to lead, men are to be strong, men are to be brave. Men have to take their rightful position. The way our country has been structured to this point have been because of strong men who have taken a stand, who have fought wars. Now I feel like it's getting so lopsided that our families are degrading. People don't know where they're at in this country.
Now in 2022, masculinity is being redefined. And I think what happens is people get upset when things start to change.
And that's Buck. Buck was the most reasonable one.
No, I think that nobody ever wants to take that away from.
Now, can you tell this is a girl? There's absolutely no way that one would believe that this is a girl. Not one iota. You would think that that's a girl. That is a dude. Tats, everything. You would he's little, but you would think that's a dude.
Men. I think that what we want to do in the world now is start to understand what is masculinity, and it's always been really associated with this very machismo space. And now there's different kinds of men in the world. There's not just biological men. There's also trans men or people who definitely want to be masculine. So I think what's happening now is people are pushing against change because change is scary and people don't understand. And so I think men, biological men, feel under attack, when I think that's not what's happening here.
The point that you made is 100% correct. There are different phases and people are experiencing in different ways. The feminist movement I think they are attacking masculinity within men. I don't want a man to open the door for me. I don't need a man in my life. I can do all of these different things. What they're doing is attacking men, and that's what's causing the problem.
Being a man and masculinity, those are two different things. And I believe that we can redefine whatever that means to anybody by including other types of men or other types of masculine.
And I really wanted to jump in there and say, but to make the conversation continue to go smoothly, I tried to meet in the middle ground and say, I hear you. I agree if the point that you make is a valid point, although that's not the point I'm making. And I tried to have, positive input.
I myself am a father. I have a child. Some people would disagree with me being a father because I am transgender. But that being said, I present to the world as male. My child sees me as a man.
There's proper ways to be vulnerable, right? You don't have to break down in front of your family and cry. It's okay to suffer silence as well. Strong men, I believe, exude the qualities that you guys are referring to. I think the problem is overcorrection, right? Some people believe that men need to cry and lay on the ground and be feminine like women. My name is Brandon. I'm 34 years old, and I'm a conservative man. I had a lot of curiosities about what it's like to be a person who believes that they're a trans man. I feel like God has created all of us very uniquely, and although I have beliefs and I follow the Bible to the T, I still want to know from other people what their experiences are. Doesn't mean I have to agree, but I really want to know what other people are feeling from the person who's experiencing it real time. So you get a little glimpse of it. It's 9 minutes of video that I cut. It's a 45-minute video on the actual Jubilee Middle Ground YouTube channel, and I'll put that in the description section. I also try to post this shorter one, but you could kind of see where this is going. The conversation was very interesting. It got more and more interesting as we went on, but it was unique. Because everybody on this side are trans women, trans men, okay, women who transition to men. And these guys on this side is conservatives. The gentleman here in the middle, he's a gay male conservative, and this dude was awesome. Everybody was pretty good, but this guy was awesome. I forget his name now. I follow him on social media. He is awesome, man. He gave a really, really good response. He was very intelligent when he responded. And I think this was good for people to see and have these conversations because the people on this side wasn't as radical as I thought they would be. And the conservatives on this side, I think people would be shocked that we don't care that much. You know what I'm saying? This is not a big deal. You don't pay my bills. You're not my wife. So I don't really care what you do. Just don't enforce that on people. But there was a conversation that we had, and you guys can go look at it on their channel. But the conversation that we had surrounding children being able to transition, like, all of those bullet points were very interesting conversations that we had. So anyway, I thought I'd review just a little bit of it. It's 9 minutes of video that I have. This will be an hour for me to review it. Comment in the comment section if you want me to come back and review every part that I was in and I spoke on. Other than that, go look at the video. I'll link it in the description section. I love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out.